And here are 3 things to know as you get ready to start your day today from nwihomepage.com. Washington County is launching a new mass notification system to provide residents with real-time alerts during emergencies and other events. It's developed by a group called Regroup. They'll send updates through phone calls, text messages, emails, other channels as well, and provide notifications about severe weather, road closures, emergencies, and other community alerts. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Registration, by the way, is available for all Washington County residents, and county officials say those who are already enrolled to get those WC alerts, you'll get instructions to update your alert preferences.
All right. I just finished an audiobook where a hurricane was coming, so this is really timing. Like, the timing of this is really good.
I don't know, but if we get a hurricane alert, I'll be like, what? Okay.
And the student-focused workshop on AI is scheduled to take place in Springdale on Saturday, April 11th. So typically we would wait to share this during the events calendar on Fridays, but this event does require registration, and so that's why we wanted to give you guys a heads up. So the Northwest Arkansas chapter of the Links Incorporated will host AI and Me, Making Smart, Responsible Choices, and this is taking place from 9 a.m. to 10:30 at the Jones Center. And the workshop is intended for middle and high school students, and will cover how AI is used in everyday situations like schoolwork and leadership. And the best part about it is the first 10 students to register will be entered in for an iPad raffle.
Oh,
Ross is like,
whoa.
do
Ross,
I qualify?
this is middle and
This is
high school.
not
Sorry,
qualified
bud.
to you.
Man, and I'm so close to.
You
so
are
close.
so close, but
I don't
not
get to
quite.
do anything fun. And Sam's Club, they have announced plans to raise its annual fees for customers joining after May the 1st. The membership-only retailer is raising its fees by $10 for both its club and plus memberships, the former jumping from $50 to $60 annually, and the latter raising from $110 to $120. So budget for that $10.
Okay. Or you could just talk to Ross about how to creatively get free memberships everywhere.
It's not what you know, it's who you know, okay?
Today.
Ready for some good news?
We are too.
Here's your positive difference story of the day.
Okay, this one doesn't necessarily have to do with people per se.
Okay.
So if there's something we know in Northwest Arkansas, it's the development of infrastructure, right?
Yes.
I've seen
And the
it.
continuous trying to catch up.
Yes, like overpass here, highway there. Okay. Well, Colorado's doing things a little differently. It has taken a 6-lane highway and connected it with 39,000 acres of habitat on both sides.
Whoa.
Okay.
So, a visual. Here, when we think of a bypass or things like that, we just put the road in the middle, and whatever wildlife is on one side is there,
Right.
whatever wildlife is on the other side is there. Let's say try to cross, and then what happens, right? Well, in Colorado, they've created it to where they can still pass overhead.
Oh, wow.
Like wildlife can still cross over from one side to the other.
So they have like an overpass for the wildlife?
Yes.
Okay.
So
I mean, you got some wildlife in Colorado,
That sounds
too.
like some Zootopia stuff right there.
this is real, I promise. And so they completed this in less than a year, ahead of schedule and on budget. Okay.
Okay. Those
that's
are all
a
good
miracle.
things.
Favorite things of mine.
Yep.
So it's called the Greenland Overpass, and it was specifically designed to provide safe passage for moose, elk, black bears, and mountain lions.
And you don't want any of those crossing the road.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
So guess how many of them were getting hit per week?
Ooh.
I don't even want to know. Yeah.
Okay, at least one a day.
Wow.
Imagine seeing one of those every single day.
And
Yeah,
now
that's
you get
terrible.
to see this bear just beside
Cross
you to
it
the
over.
other side of the road.
Hey, kids, wave to the moose.
So the state research shows that the 5 underpasses are successfully being used by both large and small mammals. Okay. And so it's like Zootopia in real life there for you,
Yes,
Ross.
seriously.
The I-25 Greenland overpass is a momentous feat, said the governor, Jared Polis. Colorado is leading the way in reducing wildlife vehicle collisions and protecting critical habitat.
That's pretty cool. So we could get our own, like, armadillo crossing.
Oh, dude, that would be so weird.
Yeah, that's what we have.
I mean, we got, like, deer and other things, too.
But what do you see on the side of the road?
Right.
Every day.
All the time.
All the time.
That is our positive difference story of the day.
people, real life. The KLRC Morning Show. 90.9 KLRC.
Ross is back. He had the day off yesterday. We did a little chaplain chat yesterday, and we were talking to Chaplain Justin about how sometimes we start thinking that people are less open to an invitation, say, to church for Easter weekend. And we kind of talk ourselves out of that or get a little intimidated or nervous about it. And when I was thinking more about that, I ran across this quote from, it was a pastor. His name's John Mark Comer, and he was talking about that process of just sharing about Jesus with people in our lives that don't have a relationship with him, which sometimes that feels like this like weight of the world of like, okay, like I got to like make this happen somehow. Or as long as I say the right things, then the right response will come out of it, which doesn't always play out at all. But this guy, the pastor, he said, I think that process is a lot more like joining a conversation that God has already started with them.
Oh, that's good. Mm-hmm.
And I love that. Like, I think that's changed the way I think about it. Instead of this, okay, well, I guess I've got to like get the ball rolling here in their life.
And then God will pick up.
Yeah.
Versus
It's like,
God's
all right,
already
God,
been
I'll get them
working.
this far, and then you can take it across the finish
Silly
line. He's like,
goose.
no.
Yeah.
Like, I've been pursuing them since they were a thought.
Yeah.
And if I've been working in their life in some way, then great. Join the conversation. Be a tool that is part of the process.
Yeah, we put such a big emphasis on like that first conversation. Like, what if I'm the first person to talk to this person about Jesus, talk to them about church? But you do not know how many conversations they've had in their own head of God just reaching out to them. Hey, come on. I was talking to somebody this Sunday, and it was the first time he ever went into a church, ever. But I got to talk to him, invite him back to Easter. But the amount of times he said, like, man, God got a hold of me here. He got a hold of me here in this hospital room. He sent a chaplain up. The chaplain preached the gospel to me. He's never been in a church, but God has still been chasing him.
Wow.
So I just joined that conversation, and I thought I was the first person. Not even close.
Exactly. That's so good.
So again, if you have that person that you've been thinking about inviting or re-inviting maybe, we'd love to help you out by also helping provide them with the Bible. All you have to do is go to klrc.com and fill out a small form, and we'll get that to you. And today's the last day for us to be able to do that
because we need to be able to mail it out. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. And the cool thing about the Bible, too, I was just thinking about this. What a great way for God to be able to then continue that conversation. Like, he literally wrote this book that's supposed to be a conversation with our souls, to be able to gift that to somebody and just see what he does with it. Pretty cool.
The KLRC Morning Show.
90.9 KLRC.
The folks at Google
Yeah.
who do the whole Gmail email service have announced that they're going to let people change the name of their email accounts.
Oh, that is so gracious of them.
I mean,
At my other job, I have to get people's email addresses sometimes. This shame on their faces sometimes.
I bet that's true. You probably have seen some really
the amount
interesting.
of times I've heard, yeah, well, I made this 20 years ago, and I'm not proud of it anymore.
Yeah, there probably should have been like some kind of pop-up box when people signed up for it. Because and a lot of people do it when they're young. They're like, hey, think about 20 years from now. Are you really going to want this? That's good.
I like bigdog@gmail.com.
Yes, exactly. So, so they not only are letting you change it, but change it so that you don't have to start a whole brand new account, right? Because I'm sure there are probably a few people who are like, I got to get out of this thing.
Can I just say that customer service with a lot of these like technical brands, they stink sometimes. But this is really awesome of them to do this.
A little shout out for Google
Seriously.
customer service towards this. So Becky did a little research.
Yes.
If you, let's say, speaking for a friend, have an email address that you're like, could use a little freshening up in some way.
Yes.
Maybe that was the old me of, of some kind.
New month, new me.
Yes.
So here's some tips as you're thinking about what your new email might be.
So you went and looked up some experts, right?
And then I also, from my previous, like I worked in HR before, and I got to see a lot of resumes.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
to your point, Ross, there was a lot of shame whenever people would have to tell me about them. So stick to short email addresses.
Yeah.
Okay. And something that's super clear and identifiable. So like your first and last name.
Yep. Especially if you have to give that to somebody over the phone in a conversation. That's a nightmare.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't use any special characters. Dash, space, any of that stuff. Avoid all that.
Yep.
So the best thing to do is like use first and last name. What I've seen a lot that I've tried to tell people not to do is don't use anything that has to do with like your birth date.
Right.
Because especially if you're applying for jobs, you don't want to give anything more than you have to for people to be able to identify more than your name.
So I was thinking about changing mine to Mark plus my social security number. What you're saying is it's probably not a good idea.
You are full of jokes today.
I'm just saying.
Actually, that's one of the tips that I found online.
Don't use your social security number.
Do not use your full. Who? What?
I know, but somebody has.
And then Ross just said, "Oh, now I can switch mine. It doesn't have to be my ATM PIN number anymore."
Which is true. And let me just say this too. That is, Becky called me out. Another tip that I feel like I need to butt in and add is just so everybody's on the same page with email addresses, there are no capitals. Okay, so some people think that
it doesn't
they
have to
can
be
do
case
caps,
sensitive.
like their first name, the first letter is going to be a capital. No. It's all going to be lowercase on an email address.
Got it.
So
That's good.
that's not something you have to worry about.
because you're not really setting up it's not a password.
No.
Okay. All right. That's pretty good.
Hopefully, that's helpful.
The KLRC Morning Show.
90.9 KLRC.
90.9 KLRC. Mercy Me with Make It Well.
That's right. In the forecast for today, it's going to be upper 70s and isolated showers this afternoon. And in Tawnytown, we are currently at 68 degrees.
And I'm taking a look at the traffic map too, and there are no major slowdowns this morning.
So we were just talking about Google's going to let people now change their email address, especially if it was one you weren't so proud of before.
I was just going to tell you one of your rules about the email addresses, and I had my first email address was really silly, so I thought it's time for that grown-up address, so I'm going to use my name, And my name is Angela, but I go by Ange. So my name on my new email was A-N-G, and my last name, R-E-Y-E-S, and the number 7.
Okay.
I thought, great, that's my name. That's a grown-up email. But if you write it down and look at it, when I started giving it out to people professionally, everybody would look at it and say, angry eyes.
The KLRC Morning Show.
90.9 KLRC. The positive difference.
Easter week this week. We've been talking about getting ready for the big celebration this weekend. Mm-hmm. But you can't miss like all the lead up to it because it's so important. All the things that happen that week. When you think about for Jesus to know, like, hey, I'm going to give up my life here.
Yeah.
And what all did he say? What all did he do? What would you do if you knew this is it? This is my last week with the people I love. What would I say and what would I do? There's a friend of mine. His name's Alan. He wrote this about today in that week. Today's the day that there's that scene where Jesus has that Last Supper with his disciples, his friends. And here's what he wrote, and I thought this was really good. He said, do you ever get that feeling like God might be preparing you for something? You just can't quite put your finger on it, but there's this nudge in your heart to make room. Today, they call it Monday, Thursday, the day Jesus and the disciples shared the bread and the wine at that Last Supper. And Jesus knelt down to wash their feet. But someone had to go before and prepare that upper room. Mm-hmm. As they were cleaning up from the last use, they probably had no idea they were preparing the room for one of the most sacred moments in history. Mm-hmm. How often is God asking you and I to make room before we fully understand what he's about to do. Before there was a cross and an empty grave, a room was made ready. Maybe even before a breakthrough, maybe God today is asking you to prepare some space for it.
Wow. And it probably felt like such a small thing, too, for them to prepare that room for these,
Right.
just
an
dozen people
everyday
coming in.
thing, kind of, who's even going to notice?
Right.
Yeah, and that's where, in my mind, that's where Jesus literally establishes the new covenant. Like my blood and my body, that's the room where everything changed, old to new. And man, I'm just thinking out loud here. That's really deep.
Right. When God asks you to do something that, hey, nobody's going to notice this. It's kind of the, like, nobody wants to do this kind of thing, instead of knowing, no, this might be setting up something you couldn't even imagine.
Beautiful imagery.
The KLRC Morning Show.
90.9 KLRC, the positive difference.
Happy birthday!
Let's go! 1, 2, 3, go! H-A-P-P-Y-B-R-T-X-D-A-Y.
Hey, happy birthday.
I got to tell you, going from that song into the birthday bash,
Catching my breath.
that is a long dance party for Becky. I'm exhausted just watching it. All right, it's time for the Marketplace Grill Birthday Bash. It is Thursday, April the 2nd.
Happy birthday to Chase Priest turning 40 in Fayetteville.
Happy birthday to Micah Harrison, turning 18 in Springdale today.
Kyle Whitmore celebrating in Chewy, Oklahoma today.
And Heather Brazelton. She's blessed to be turning 51 in Fayetteville.
All right, so the randomizers picked a winner for us. Let's see if we can get a hold of him.
Hello?
Hi, good morning. Is this Micah?
Yeah.
Micah, happy birthday.
It's Mark, Becky, and Ross from
Thank you.
KLRC. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are y'all?
Doing good, man. What's one thing that you're thankful for on your birthday today?
To have a good job.
Ooh,
Where
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a mowing crew for Springdale Public Schools.
Okay.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
Micah, well, you're also the winner of our Marketplace Grill Birthday Bash, so we'll get that certificate in the mail for you, okay?
Okay, thank you.